Good afternoon, class. I'm Miss Hayden. Today I will be talking to you about adding fractions with unlike denominators. Last year, you learned how to add fractions with like denominators. Can anybody give me an example of two fractions with like denominators?
2/8 plus 4/8.
Perfect. Now can anyone tell me what that answer is?
6/8.
Good job. You already knew that because they had the same denominators, so all you had to add was the numerators. But now let's review what equivalent fractions are. Do you guys know what those are? No? Alright. Equivalent fractions have the same value even though they may look different. So, these aren't equivalent fractions, but equivalent fractions are to 1/4 the equivalent, to 2/4 an equivalent fraction would be 1/2. They equal the same thing, they just look different. Can anybody give me another equivalent fraction to 1/2?
3/6.
Yeah, so 1/2 equals 3/6 because you times the denominator by 3, so you have to times the numerator by 3. Okay, so to be able to add fractions with unlike denominators, we have to get like denominators. And to do this, we use equivalent fraction, just like we talked about. And we also have to use the least common multiple. To do this, our first step is finding the least common multiple. So I have a chart that you can set up, that's not part of this, but the chart that you set up is like this, and you put both of the denominators in it. You put 3 on top, 4 on the bottom. And you go through and you list each of the multiples. The least common multiple is the smallest number that is multiples of both of the numbers. So the multiples of 3 are 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and 18. The multiples of 4 are 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, and 24. So, the least common multiple of these would be 12. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. After we found that, we have to change these fractions to have 12 as the new denominator. So, 1/3 change to 12ths. So I'll write it down here. 12. What do you times 3 by to get 12?
4.
Yeah, so you would times by 4, so that means you have to times the top by 4 to get
4.
4. So do it over here to get 12. You would times it by what?
3.
Alright. Times the top by 3 to get 3. So your new equation is 3 12ths plus 4 12ths, which equals
7/12.
perfect. Alright. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
The steps. So first you have to find the least common multiple. Then you have to get the equivalent fractions. And then finally you can add. Let's go over finding the least common multiples of a couple numbers. So for this, we're going to draw our chart. And our numbers are going to be 5 and 3. So the multiples of 5 are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. It always helps to go up a little bit farther because you never know how much you're going to have to go on the next number. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So the least common multiples of these two would be 15. Good job. Alright, we're going to try one more least common multiple, and that's going to be between 6 and 9. So the multiples of 6 are 6, 12, 18, 24. The multiples of 9 are 9, 18, 27. Actually, let's keep continuing going with 6 for a couple more. So then it'd be 30 and 36. And then this, the next number in this, is 36. So here we have two common multiples. So we have 36 and 36, but we also have 18. So you always want to go with the least common multiple. All right, let's practice going through all the steps. So here we have 1/2 plus 2/5. What do we do first?
Finding the least common multiple.
Perfect. So we're going to set up our chart with 2 and 5. So 2 is 2. Help me count. 4.
6, 8, 10.
Perfect. And 5 is
5, 10, 15, 20.
perfect. So the least common multiple in there is
10.
Good job. So our next step, we find the equivalent fraction. So we want to set both of these to have new denominators of 10. We're going to add them. So here,
Times 2.
perfect. So you would times this by 2 to get
4.
4. Here, you
Times by 5. And then take 1 times 5.
perfect. You guys are really getting it. So then, when you add that together, you get
9/10.
perfect. And that's the whole process. Pretty easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this one, we start off doing the least common multiple. We can make our chart. 7 and 14. So we'll go through the multiples of 7 first. We have 7, 14,
21.
but we don't have to go any farther because we already have 14. Perfect. So you already know that that's that. So you don't even have to change this fraction down here. You just have to change this one. So you do what to that to get 14?
Times 2.
Perfect. So you times this by 2 to get
4.
4. So 5 plus 4,
9.
9 14ths is the answer to that one. Making sense so far?
Yes.
All right, we'll go through one more, and then I'm going to give you a worksheet that you guys can do it on your own. Okay, so we'll set up our chart. We have 6 and 9. So we have 6,
12, 18, 24,
perfect. And then for 9 we have
9, 18, 27, 36.
perfect. So the least common multiple in there is
18.
18. Alright, so now we have to change these so their new denominators are both 18. So you times 6 by what to get 18?
3.
Perfect. And you time, what is 5 times 3?
18. Or 15.
15. Good job. You times 9 by what to get 18?
2.
So you times 2 by 2 to get
4.
4. Alright, so 15 plus 4 is?
19.
Yeah, 19, 18. Good job. So does anybody have any questions before we move on to your independent worksheet?
No.
Okay, so for the worksheet, you guys are just going to try the best that you can. And if you can't figure it out, just leave it blank. But there, you can set up your chart. It's not on here for you, but just draw it like this. And you have as much time as you need.